In today's video, we will look at voltage and current in AC circuit. An AC circuit consists of circuit elements or combinations of circuit elements such as resistor, capacitor, and inductor, along with an AC generator or an AC source that provides an alternating current. The output of an AC generator is sinusoidal and varies with time. For example, as a function of sine or cosine of omega t. Omega here represents the angular frequency of the signal. It is related to the usual frequency, which is quantified in hertz in the following manner: 2 pi times f, where f is the frequency quantified in the units of hertz. A simple example of an AC circuit is as follows. You have a resistor and you have an AC generator, like that. If you assume that the current that's passing through the resistor is I, and you ask what is the voltage across this resistor, both these quantities are functions of time. We can immediately write VR equals IR, where R is the resistance of that resistor. What this means is, if the time-dependent current varies as, let's say, sine omega t, then the voltage across the resistor will also vary as sine omega t. So in a circuit that consists of a resistor and an AC generator, we say the current and the voltage are in phase with each other. And we can plot this relationship on a graph in the following manner. Assume that this is the voltage. The current would be in phase like that. So this is the current and this is the voltage across the resistor. Often in AC circuit, we always talk about a special kind of average value for current and voltage. This is known as root mean square current or root mean square voltage. And this is the definition of these RMS quantities. For example, an RMS current or root mean square current is the square root of the average of the square of the current. What that means is, if I is given by I max is the amplitude, times sine omega t, then you see I squared is I max squared sine squared omega t. So average of this square equals, this is a constant, times the average of that term. Average of a sine squared over a complete cycle is just half. Now when you take the square root of that, you get I max over square root 2. So this is what we called the RMS current. We can also define RMS voltage in a similar manner. V max, the amplitude of the voltage that is, over square root 2. And for this circuit at hand, we can combine these two quantities in a similar manner. VRMS is IRMS times the resistance in that AC circuit. Now what happens if you have a capacitor in the AC circuit? So the voltage, the output voltage, is defined in the following manner: V max sine omega t. Now what is the current through the capacitor? We note the charge across the plates of the capacitor equals capacitance times the voltage across the capacitor. If you take dq dt, you will get the current, and the right hand side will become capacitance times dv dt. Since v is a function of sine, dv dt will be a function of cosine. So what we have here, voltage varies as sine omega t, and current varies as cosine omega t. We can write cosine omega t as sine omega t plus 90 degrees. And we see that in this case, the voltage lags the current. So if we were to plot these two quantities on the same axis, let's say this is voltage, the current is represented by this green line, like that. That shows that the voltage lags the current by 90 degrees. The resistance-like effect of a capacitor on the current in an AC circuit is known as the capacitive reactance, and it's denoted with letter X with a subscript C, and it's related to capacitance in the following manner: 1 over the angular frequency of the signal generator times the capacitance of the capacitor. The RMS voltage in this circuit is related to the RMS current through the capacitive reactance, like that. The third circuit is the one with inductor, and it's constructed in the following manner. So that is an AC generator, and that is an inductor with inductance L. As always, let's assume the voltage output from the generator is given by a sine function, like that. The current through the inductor is related to this voltage output in the following manner: V equals the inductance of that inductor times di dt. So you see the V is related to sine omega t, and from this equation di dt also varies as sine omega t. The current must vary as an integral of sine omega t with respect to t. That means as minus cosine omega t. Minus cosine omega t can be expressed as sine omega t minus 90 degrees. By comparing these two expressions, we see the voltage leads the current in this case. So if voltage is represented by a sine graph like that, the current varies in the following manner. Like that. The effective resistance of this coil in an AC circuit is measured by a quantity called the inductive reactance, with a symbol X, subscript capital L, and this is given in the following manner: omega, which is the angular frequency of the generator, times the inductance of that coil. So with inductive reactance defined in this way, we can write an equation of the same form as Ohm's law for the voltage across the coil or inductor, and it would look something like that. The RMS voltage across the inductor or the coil equals the RMS current in the coil times the inductive reactance. Let's look at the following problem. An AC voltage source has an output given by this function. The source is connected to a 100 ohm resistor. Calculate the RMS voltage and RMS current in the resistor. So here we are dealing with an AC circuit with resistor as the component. As we know, the definition of RMS voltage equals to the maximum voltage, or the voltage amplitude, over square root 2. The maximum voltage can be read from here as 150 volts. So 150 divided by square root 2, and the answer will be in the units of volts, which is 106.1 volts. Next, the RMS current. RMS current can be determined from Ohm's law, and it's given by the RMS voltage over the resistance. RMS voltage was found to be 106.1 volts The resistance is 100 ohms. And that's going to give you an answer of 1.061 ampere. And that solves the problem. Problem 2. A 6 microfarad capacitor is connected to the terminals of an AC voltage with RMS voltage 100 volts and frequency 50 Hz. Find the capacitive reactance and RMS current in this circuit. Now here we are dealing with an AC circuit with capacitor in it. Like that. Capacitive reactance is given by 1 over omega C. Now, what we are given here is 50 Hz. So that is the usual frequency, the normal frequency, 50 Hz. To determine the angular frequency, you have to take 2 pi and you multiply that with 50 Hz. So, substituting back in here, you get 2 pi times 50, and the capacitance is 6 microfarad, 6 times 10 to the power minus 6 farad, and you get 531 ohms. So you see, capacitive reactance is also quantified in a unit ohm, which is the unit for resistance. Now let's do the RMS current. From Ohm's law, the RMS current equals the RMS voltage across capacitor over the reactance. The RMS voltage is given to be 100 volts. XC is that, so divide by 531 ohms, and that's going to give you an answer of 0.19 ampere. And that solves the problem. Problem 3. A 30 millihenry inductor is connected to the terminals of an AC voltage with RMS voltage of 200 volts and frequency 50 Hz. Find the inductive reactance and RMS current in the circuit. So here the AC circuit consists of an inductor and the AC generator. So let's first determine the inductive reactance, X sub L. It's the same as the angular frequency times the inductance. Now angular frequency in terms of the usual frequency is 2 pi usual frequency, 50 Hz, and the inductance in this case is 30 millihenry. So 30 times 10 to the power minus 3 Henry, and the answer will be in ohms, which will give you an answer of 9.42 ohms. Now let's calculate the RMS current. So the RMS current equals the RMS voltage across this inductor over the inductive reactance, X sub L. The RMS voltage is provided, 200 volts, and X sub L has been determined from earlier part, 9.42 ohms, and that's going to give you an answer of 21.2 ampere. And that solves the problem. Thank you for watching.